Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kapudash. Second, I want to give double honors to the apostles, the GMS that went as well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there. That's tuning in, a few aqua tuning in. And the Lord's will, you'll be edified. And so I was reading a comment, but I was watching this video earlier. This is Mark Laida. I think that's how you say his name, but he has his channel, Soft White Underbelly. A bunch of bug outs and a bunch of nutcases, which we always say here in America, this is what the elites wanted. This was actually a part of the New World Order. You can read it in the book of the New World Order. And what they wanted was a working class, starting with I think the Rockefeller, the agenda of the public schools. He said he doesn't want a thinking class. He wants a working class. They ushered in this dream, witchcraft, sorcery. And again, this is all a part of that, the Illuminati New World Order, which they wanted. And this is also in the late 1800s with the feminism, which they started early in the 1800s, not early 1800s, but it started in the 1800s, and then officially with Gloria Steinem. So the what I'm getting at is they purposely fucked up the homes. And one thing he did say, this is our interview, sit down, whatever, and they go over a lot of things. He said some certain good things, certain points, which but one thing he did say, the reason why a lot of problems that you see on the streets of America, and majority and all the people was on his show, basically said it stems from a fucked up, traumatic childhood. And this is what Esau purposely does to the American people. And it was, to deceive the world, gain, the dark world, Esau's playhouse, the elites. Salaki. Yeah. And it pretty much the destruction of what you call it, what you see in front of us in today's society has been purposely designed to become like this. And it was ultimately to break the people, the nations, and then usher in an object that will pretty much completely control them. And one thing they did was they pretty much promoted and pushed the image of the beast, which is Babylon the Great, the American dream, which have caused the many people's downfall of men and women, and ultimately you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, which has been caught up amongst this witchcraft that Esau and the elites and Amalek has conjured up, the big potion which he calls many people to drink. And and the last thing he said was pretty much there's no helping these people. He also talks about he tried to help, but you can't help them. You can't help these people. And then he also talks about how he tried to help one person, but basically it was like, they don't want good people around. They pretty much Man, matter of fact, it reminds me of Romans, the first chapter, starting at the 25th verse, how these people actually have pleasure in doing wickedness and evil. Scripture talks about not going into the multitude of the people to do evil. But again, um, Scripture talks about training up a child as they're supposed to go. But see, everybody has lost their morals in America, except for the elect. And Lord's will, we don't lose ours. We don't lose that light. But going back to what you were saying, basically he said you could tell he was holding back certain things, but you can pretty much basically he was saying is you just gotta put these people down. And nonetheless, I'm gonna get this one. Bear with me real quick. I forgot to bring this up. So, death is better. So this is Sirach 30 and 17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. Matter of fact, I'm going to go up. Verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. And we understand, what is it, I forgot where it was in the New Testament. But basically, the riches are corrupt by the elites. What they got all their riches and it's cankered. Their gold and silver is cankered. And we ultimately know that they got to give all those riches up because it wasn't gotten by how you say it, by righteousness. It was all got by robbery, deceit, lies and death and killing, murdering of innocent blood. Health and good estate of the body are above all gold. Matter of fact, let me get this in the GNT. Bear with me one moment. Sirach 30. Let me see what it says. Bring it up. Hey. Well, shit. I'm going to read it just a little bit. So, Sirach 30 and 1. Because, again, going back to what he was talking about, that broken household. So, a father who loves his son will whip him often so that he can be proud of him later. If a son is disciplined, he will be of some use, and his father can boast of him to his friends. Anyone who gives good guidance to his son can not only take pride in him among his friends, but he can make his enemies jealous. And also in this case, we understand this is going to you so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans. To hell with you other nations. While the father is alive, the sight of his son makes him happy. And when he dies, he has no regrets. He is not really dead, meaning, when you see the son, you see the father. Because his son is like him. He has left someone to take vengeance on his enemies and to return the favors he owes his friends. But anyone who spoils his son will have to bandage his wounds. His heart will stop every time he hears a shout. An untamed horse is going to be stubborn, and an undisciplined son is no different. If you pamper your child and play with him, he will be a disappointment and a source of grief. Laugh with him now, and one day you will have to cry over him, grinding your teeth in regret. Don't give him freedom while he is young, and don't overlook what he does wrong. Whip him while he is still a child, and make him respect your authority. If you don't, he will be stubborn and disobedient and cause you nothing but sorrow. So discipline your son and give him work to do, or else he will be an embarrassment to you. And there's also one account about daughters. Can't pinpoint it right off the top, but to the point. Verse 14: It is better to be poor but strong and healthy than to be rich but in poor health. A sound, healthy body and a cheerful attitude are more valuable than gold and jewels. Nothing can make you richer or give you greater happiness than those two things. It would be better to be dead asleep forever than to live in misery of chronic illness. So, Salaki. So it's like what Mark Later, however you say his name, uh, it's better that these people just be put down. Let me get that the whole head is sick. Yeah, Isaiah 1 and 5 through 7. Why should ye be stricken anymore? And he has a bunch of Jacob there. You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises, trauma, and putrefying sores, and this all goes back to the curses. The scripture talks about, the more you rebel against Yahweh Shem Shah, the more just the curses is going to heat up on you, and you're just going to just go crazy. You're going to bug out. You're going to become mad, belligerent, etc. You just get worse and worse. You don't get better. And they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land strangers devour it in your presence. And our land right now is ran by impostors, the Jewish, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. So, Esau, Amalek took our identity, and he gave us the land of the free. The Babylonian American dream and a culture. Let me get that Babylon can't be held. Okay, that's the spirit. So, all right, I'm gonna just bring forth Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 and 1. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I also tells you that, Yahweh has mingled a perverse spirit in that place, in Babylon. People are becoming worse, and worse, drugs, etc. And it goes back into those strategic plans that Esau has conjured up, that witchcraft that Esau has conjured up upon the minds of the people of Babylon. And that's why these people are losing their fucking minds. School shootings, etc. I mean, yeah, people say, yeah, America's one of the, is a good country, has its perks, its offers, its benefits, but it's a very dark side also, America eats off the poverty and the oppression of the world. And due to the other nations really being in an oppressive state, it has become the fullness and, the how you say, the rise of Babylon the Great, but also, the very dark side of it too, where the things that they don't show on TV or talk about, or want to talk about. But now they can't hide it. How you try to, if you have a child, you got some kids, and they don't want to put the trash in the trash can in the hallway, or they just throw it underneath the bed or throw it somewhere in the closet. Well, now you don't have no more room for it. You can't hide it anymore. Now it's showing on the floor. So it says, and against them that will dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me is destroying wind, those missiles. And also it tells you in the scriptures about the fate of sinners. The sword, the pestilence, etc. Well, these people want to get, be put put down. Again, there's no helping these people. You can't give them money. He even says that, why would you give these people money and they got drug problems and they have traumatic child trauma that, when you give these people money, is only gonna suit their habits. And he also said it takes. He was saying he's only one man. It takes a team of people to fix one person. That's just one person. How much, you have a bunch of people that are fucking bugged out, man. Majority of Americans are through, and is no hope. And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him and that's Russians and Russia and other countries, China, North Korea, and the other nations. The EU is going to turn their back on America. They're going to hate the whore. And against him that lifted himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, because again it was already prophesied that this infrastructure, Babylon the Great, the land of the free, was going to be set up on the earth in the last days. That made all the earth drunken. In Section 8, the democracy, and I forgot the other term that they use. They give aid to these other countries, but in the form of an oppressive way. The nation have drunken of her wine, and also the other world leaders have they somewhat reign the same way. There's a lot of corrupt governments and a lot of corrupt shit going on in these other countries. And it has been like that because of how America is ruling things. So it says, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. So it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let everyone go into his own country, for a judgment reaches unto heaven. Yeah, because America is not that place anymore. If you're in a different country, there's really not no point to come here. This bitch is out the door. And it lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, our power. So it says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. So yeah, the Lord is stirring up those nations to bomb this bitch. It was one more. There's another one in Isaiah, I think 34, talks about the witchcraft and sorcery, which Babylon the Great, the land of the free, had conjured up those witchcraft from her very youth, going to the Greco-Roman Empire. Revelation 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every clean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunken the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the king of the earth have committed fornication with her. Yeah. because of her dealings, the witchcraft, the sorceries, the imports, the exports, and again, even the dark ways of America that these nations have been engulfed in, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yep. And that's why the other nations, a lot of these people are paid off puppets in governments that's been formed through America, and this is why they take. That's pretty much that's why there's a lot of corrupt policies in these other countries, because America has their hand in the four corners. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." And that's going to be those chariots. I believe it's going into Isaiah, the 13th chapter. I can't remember right now. There's going to be a chariot that deliver the elect, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, that you receive not of her plagues, because when America's being destroyed and those nukes are flying over here, those chariots are going to come down and swoop and obtain the elect. For her sins that reach into heaven, and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. Yep. How much has she glorified herself? Yeah, glorified the hell out of herself. But she never she never really showed you how she really got there, and how many lives she destroyed, and lived deliciously. I was looking at these big ass homes today, and I was just sitting there like, yo, I wouldn't even want this shit right now. So it says, I was looking at the house. I was like, yo, just look at this big ass house, and then look at the other people that just suffering and poverty. And you got these people that have these big ass homes and just be him, a dude and his wife, and maybe a one kid, and you got 20 fucking rooms. It just doesn't make sense. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she said for her heart, I sit a queen, and I'm no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her place come in one day, that those nukes, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashem who judgeth her. So it's going to be a great judgment. So yeah, that like Mark fucking hate football, man. It's like Mark Laida, whatever. I don't know his name. Like, I can't say his last name. Laida or later said you cannot help these people. But ultimately their judgment too that was pronounced in the heavens, and he had to play it out on the earth. But that's pretty much it. Lord's will was edified. Shalom.